Hi guys, so today we'll be making this crochet top. Using the top-down technique, we are going to start making the neckline first and then going down. And then we're going to join with these two panels that I made for the front and for the back. They were made on my Sentro Machine, so you know how to mix the Sentro Machine panels with crochet as well. So we'll be making the panels first, 2 panels, and then we are going to make the top down for the neck work, for this work here, which I think it is really pretty. I really liked it. And I'll be making the sizes small and medium, okay? And that's because that's the maximum size that I can get from the panels of this machine. Unless you want to work some crochet on the sides as well to make it a bit wider for a large size, okay? This whole top took me around, let me think, 4 hours to make, I think, 4 hours, which is really amazing, like it's really fast. Just because I use these panels made on the Sentro Machine and it's really fast, like in 30 minutes you make each panel, each side, and then this part of the top, because I was filming together, it took a little longer, but I would think like 40 minutes, 1 hour. So yeah, around 3 hours, 4 hours to make the whole top, and it looks awesome. Look at this work on the... It's really nice. Okay, so I'll be teaching you right now. Okay, so this here is my idea for the top, and I'm planning to make a crochet top down part here for the neck, for the shoulder. And then this part here is gonna be knitted on the Sentro Machine, which is this panel here. So I'm making 2 of these panels. Okay, the panels are 44 stitches by 54 rows. So I made 54 rows on each panel, and I'm gonna show you how I'm going to finish that off. And so the yarn I'm using is this denim yarn. It's really nice, and it is 12 ply yarn. I'm going to be using 200 grams, which is 2 rows of this. And I'm going to be using a few hooks. I'm going to be using probably this one. I'm gonna try before, but I'm definitely using the 4.5 millimeters one to remove the stitches from the machine, or even a smaller one to remove the stitches. And you can also use this one. It's a 3.75, and that's the one that comes in the machine. So you can use this one to remove the stitches from the machine. It's a new technique that I learned just this week. So here it is. The way I casted the stitches on was the same way I always do. I put one in the front, one on the back, one in the front, one on the back. It's the simplest way to cast on the stitches. And now I made another panel with 54 rows again here. And now I'm going to just put the row in here, remove from the holder here, and I'm going to make a full row without yarn, just to cast off the stitches. And now with one of my hooks, you can use this one, okay? No problem, you can use that one. But I'll be using, I think, I'll see how I go with this 4mm one. It's a bit too thick. You want to use hooks that are smaller, just because it makes it easier. So you probably can use the hook that come on the machine. So I'm gonna start on this side, and that's because I'm gonna be using the yarn to make crochet. I'm gonna leave it here in the middle, or it's not. And the way I'm doing this now is I'm going to remove this stitch, the first stitch, and I'm gonna make crochet straight away from here. So I'm gonna remove this second stitch as well and hold the third one so it doesn't come undone. It doesn't come out of the thing here, otherwise it's gonna, yeah. And then, so I have 2 loops here. I'm going to just put the yarn over the hook and make the first stitch. And then I'm going to make another chain, and I'm going to remove this third stitch. And then I'm going to put the yarn over and make that stitch and put the yarn through both, and then make one more chain in the middle, get a 4th stitch. Always try to leave your finger like right here so that stitch doesn't open, doesn't come out of the needle. And we're gonna be making always a chain in the middle so the whole work's not too tight, so the crochet is exactly the same size of the panel. So repeat this all the way to the other side, and then we are going to start making the we're gonna make crochet all around this panel as well, exactly like I'm doing here. And then we are going to make the crochet here for the top part, and then join them both together, stitching them both together on the sides. And then we are going to add a little edging on the bottom of this top, because these tops I made a bit shorter because I wanted to add an edging similar to this one. I really like this one, these little pom-poms that I added on this one. And so yeah, I made a little shorter, so it's not very long, okay? If you want longer and you don't want to make the edging on the bottom, you just make more rows here. But I'm gonna show you the full size of it at the end, so you know the full size. Okay, I'm making a medium, and then for a smaller size I would probably remove 4 or 5 stitches from the panels, from the sides, and probably 4 rows from the height of it, which is around 1 centimeter of each side, around 1 centimeter, yeah. So keep doing that, and then we are going to keep making the rest of it. So here I finished this side with crochet, and then I cut the yarn off, and I'm going to start on the other side here, making this other side as well. And I'm starting with the slip knot, twist in the front, yarn over, pull it through. Then I'm going to start right there in that first stitch. Okay, and this yarn we are going to remove later, so I'm going to pull it a bit. As you can see, it runs through it. I'm going to pull it a bit to make it easier to see the stitches here. And then I'm going to put through that first one, that first stitch. And don't worry about this, because we are going to remove it later anyway. And so remove that from there, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, chain. Then we go to the second one, second stitch, through the front, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through. So we're gonna be doing that all the way to the end of this side here. So you're gonna be making this all the way to the end here, and then we probably can stitch both sides together, both panels together, the front and the back, and then we're gonna start making the shoulder part of this top in crochet. So I made here 90 chains, and then I tested around my neck just to see if my head would fit through it. And then after making sure your head fit through it, make sure it's untwisted, and then put your hook through that first little chain there, and there we are going to slip stitch here like we did before, exactly same stitch, and then we're going to do 1, 2, 3 chains. After these 3 chains, we are going to make a long double crochet. A long double crochet is yarn over the hook, put the hook through that next stitch, the next chain over down there, and then yarn over, pull it through 2, yarn over, pull through only 1 there, yarn over, pull through 2. And so you're going to be repeating that all around. So right here I'm going to make 1 chain, yarn over, skip 1 here, skip this next chain here, and on the next one we're going to make another long stitch. It's a long double crochet. It's like a treble crochet, but with only 1 loop. One loop around the hook. So we're gonna have 2, not 3. On the treble we will have 1, 2, and 1 more. Here we only have 2, but we are going to put the yarn over 3 times. So that's a long double crochet. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, chain, skip 1, in the next one, the next. So we are going to be making 1 long double crochet in each chain underneath, and then skip 1 and another time. So we're gonna be doing that all the way around to make our first row, all the way to the beginning here. So here we are going to finish this first row with 1 chain here, and then count 1, 2, 3 chains from the beginning there, put it through and make a slip stitch. From this slip stitch we're going to start our second row, which is going to be very simple, and we're going to make as well 2 rows of this. So it's going to be chain 5, and then single crochet in the very next chain. Again, chain 5, single crochet in the next chain, just underneath the chain, single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet in that very next chain, and we are going to keep repeating that all the way to when we reach the other side here. So I'm gonna make 2 rows of this, and I'm going to come back just to show you how I finished the row here. Getting to that last stitches just before we go to the next row, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make 2 chains and 1 double crochet where we started here in this chain here inside it. So this way I start the next row from the top. That's where I wanna start it anyway, so that's why I made this double crochet here, so I can start this from this arch right in the middle of it. So we're gonna make another row of this, so chain 5 and then single crochet underneath this next arch, and then chain 5 and single crochet underneath the next arch. So I made my last double crochet here in this, right on top of this double crochet I had on the last row there, and here I am ready to start the next row. See how it's sitting flat like this? That's how it's supposed to be. Okay, now we're going to the 4th row. So from this last stitch, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make shell stitches. So to do that, I'm gonna go right in that middle chain, which is the 3rd one from the arch underneath it, and I'm going to make that same long double crochet. So 1 time, 2, 3, and then I'm going to chain 1 in the middle and then make 3 more. So it's that same long double crochet we were making before, which is a very good stitch for fast projects. And then we are going to single crochet underneath the next arch. And then we're gonna start another shell, so count 1, 2, 3 in that 3rd chain. We're going to make 3 double crochets with a chain and 3 other double crochets. Okay, repeat that all the way until you're back to where you started. And then we are going to start the next row. So I'm going to finish this row right on top of the double crochet of the row before with a slip stitch. And then from here, I'm going to start my next row. That's how this row looks like. I'm going to start with 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a long double crochet in that same stitch I just worked. Long double crochet. And then I'm going to make 3 chains. 1, 2, 3 chains. And a single crochet in that next chain, right in the middle of your shell. Another 3 chains. And a long double crochet in that single crochet from before. Chain 2 in between. Another long double crochet in that same stitch. And then chain 3 again. So chain 3, single crochet 1 in that chain, the next chain, and then chain 3, long double crochet in the next single crochet, chain 2, long double crochet in that same single crochet. and chain 3. So repeat that around the round, and that's our 4th row. This is how it's like now. So to finish this row, I'm going to make a slip stitch into the first, second, third chain here. Slip stitch here. And then one more slip stitch on the next chain there, and then chain 3. Okay, chain 3 and then 3 other long double crochets, 2, 3. After the third here, we're going to chain 1, and we are going to make the same 4 right here. I'm counting 4 because of the first 3 chains, so we will be making 4 here, right on top of that single crochet I had on the row before, and that's gonna be my next row. Oops, one more. Not too sure if I should make 4 or 3, but I think 4 is good, since we have to increase stitches a bit for this next row, because don't forget that our crochet is growing really fast, because each one of these rows we are making, they are very large, so we need to increase stitches fast. So one chain here, and then in this next 2 chains right underneath them, 4 more. So we're gonna repeat that row all the way again to the beginning. So finish this row here with a slip stitch in that 3rd chain from the beginning, and now I'm going to repeat this row here, but I'm going to add a few more stitches. So I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a long double crochet in that same space, same stitch, and then 2 more stitches, and repeat that same thing. 2. Let me see this first. So always working in the chains from the row before. Finish this last row with 2 chains and slip stitch in the 4th chain from the beginning. So 1, 2, 3 on the 4th one there, and then I'm going to slip stitch 1 just to start right in the middle of these 2 chains here, and then I'm going to chain 3. And now all I'm doing in this row is I'm going to repeat this row here. So I'm going to make 1, 3 more, 2, 3, and then I'm going to chain 2 in between them and make 4 more. So yeah, for this next row, all we're gonna change is from this one to this one, we are going to make that same 4 stitches in each chain in the middle of the 2 double crochets we had before, but we are going to make 2 chains in between them. So I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, and 4, all in that same space, and 2 chains in between. So for this next row I'm going to start with 7 chains. So chain 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and for 2 reasons. First, because I want to make it really open stitches, and second, because I don't have much yarn left. So I'm going to make this same row again, but with a few more chains in between, because we need to increase stitches always. So 7, and then 1 double crochet, long double crochet, chain 2 in between them like before, then another 2 double crochet, long double crochet, and chain 3 in between them. So instead of making 2 chains, we're gonna make 3, 2 in between, and then 2 in between them here. We're gonna chain them right on top of the 2 chains from before, and then 3 chains in between them. Let me see if, yeah, this is working fine. And then after that, on the only on my arms, I'm gonna add this little edging. So we're going to have always the 2 double crochets right on top of these 2 chains, and then 3 chains, then 2 chains in between them, and 3 other chains. There. So finish this row off, and for me that's gonna be enough for my arms, I think. Let me see. See, it's as long as this one, even probably longer, which is okay. And then we are going to close both sides underneath the arm to start joining with the panels. So we finish this row with 3 chains, 1 long double crochet there, and then 2 chains in between them, and here we're gonna make 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Here in the 4th one we are going to make a slip stitch, and then just so now you're gonna have to try on your shoulder, see if that's enough for you. If that's not enough for you, make a few more rows and just repeat this same work we did on the last ones. For me it's enough, and yeah, that's definitely enough for me. So I'm going to try on myself, and then I'll see here. Yeah, always put the beginning where I wanna, cause I'm going to make a few chains underneath the arm here on both sides on the same place. So I think it should be around here. Let me see. I'm just gonna measure on this only one. Just gonna measure here. I think it's exactly there. So what you do is you count the number of stitches you have, and then you repeat the same one on the same thing on the other side. So put right on top here perfectly, and then you should count the same. So I have 1, 3, 1 here. So 1 repetition of this work here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the middle of the 4th and 5th, I'm going to put that stitches through, which is gonna be around 10 to 12. And then here I'm gonna place markers. 1 second. So I got my markers here, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna place a marker here, and then you, as you trying on yourself, you place the markers there as well in front of the mirror or something like that, where you can see or where you can feel it. So 2, 4, 6, 7. So here I'm gonna count the same thing: 1, 3, 5, 7, and then here that's where I'm going to have the second one. I'm going to place a marker right there, and then here's gonna be the middle of the body of my top. So I'm going to make one more row before I join with the... Okay, so first things first. Here I already made 2 chains. Then I'm going to make a few more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so what we do now is we are going to slip stitch on the other side where we had the marker, and then we are going to try under our arm and see if this is enough. So for the other side we're going to start with our slip knot, which is like this, and then right where we have that marker, just gonna remove so it makes it easier for me to work. Here and there I'm going to make a slip stitch around that first chain there, and then 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I'm going to join on the other side here with the same slip stitch. Okay, and now I can start. Let me see. If you want, go ahead and try on yourself again. I already did, and it looks great. It looks the size looks good to me. Just leave that last one and make one chain here. Okay, because you wanna work always on the right side of your work. That's why I turned the work now. And so I'm going to have 2 underneath. Okay, so I'll be making another slip stitch here in this very next stitch, and then I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so chain 3, and then in that next stitch another 1 long double crochet and 2 long double crochets, and I'm going to chain 2 just because I don't really have enough yarn. So skip 1, 2, 3 in that 5. On that 5th one here we are going to make 3 other long double crochets. That's gonna be underneath your arm, this part here, and chain 2. And then I'm going to again start working only in between these double crochets that I had before, and it's gonna be 3 long double crochets with the 2 chains in the middle, same thing. And then after this row we are going to join our work with the panels. So finished my row here. So I'm going to join this part with this part here. And as you can see, they have similar sizes. Alright guys, let's do it. So get your tapestry needle there. Put around a meter and a half of yarn if you didn't leave this long tail like I didn't. I always try to leave tails where I know that I'm going to be stitching later, so I don't have to, you know, hide all these tails later on. So here I'm just gonna put it through both stitches on both sides, and then I'm going to make a knot here to start this stitching. Close this off, and then what I'm gonna be doing is, and this is the reason why I put the marker here, so I know where I should be stitching, because both sides don't have the same number of stitches, okay? So on the very next one of my crochet, and the one here on my knitted part, next one, I'm gonna be skipping one because remember we added more stitches when we casted off our knitting. So I'm gonna be skipping one always, around one, okay? So I'll probably have to block this this top just because of the sides. It needs to be blocked, probably with a hot towel or something like that. But that's how it looks like. It's I'll try it on later for you to just show you how it's like now. So here for this bottom part here, I'm going to make another a few stitches here, another row here. So I'm gonna put right in that corner. Let me see if I can get through it here, just to close this little gap off. And then from here I'm going to chain one. I'm going to skip, let me see, skip 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth one should be all right. So I'm going to make just a normal double crochet here. So 1, 2, 3 double crochets, 1, 2 chains, and then another single crochet in that double crochet just from before, and then another 3 double crochets. Let's see if my yarn's gonna be enough. I hate not having enough yarn. And then we're gonna skip a few. 1, 2, 3, 4. That fifth one. So yeah, that's how the bottom's gonna look like. That's it, guys. So I'm gonna come back with the gonna see if I can make this same finished on the sleeves, because I like it, and then I'm gonna show you how it looks like at the end. Just one more thing. So here, this is for a medium size, okay? And the reason why I only make mediums and smalls is because the number of stitches on the machine is not enough to make a large, unless you want to use the large like this, stretched, then should be fine. But so this pattern is for small and medium. If you were making a small size, I would probably remove, not make this last row here on the neck, and then finish it off on this one just before with again 10 chains, but still try on yourself while you're making it so you don't get it wrong. And then here as well on the body, I would probably remove a few stitches. I would say 4, not more than that, otherwise you're gonna use the knitted part stretched as well on your body. So yeah, around like probably 4 stitches on each side for a small, and make it a little less long as well. I would cut probably 2, 4, 6, around 8 rows less, like this, 2, 3 fingers, you know, but yeah, I'll measure it for you once I'm finished, so then you know which size I have here. So I finished the top, that's how it looks like now, and I just wanna add that I put this, so the same finishing, the same edge that I used, the shell one that I used there on the bottom, I used on every sleeve as well, but not in the middle of the sleeve here, that's underneath your arms. You don't really need to do that here. So only here on this part, so you can see. Same on the other side. And as well I made one full row of single crochets around the neck, just for a bare finishing. Okay, and it fit me perfectly, really like it. And so you know, I made this whole top in 2 hours and a half, 3 hours. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this pattern, this tutorial, because I really did. And it's very easy to make, easy and fast. That's the main thing for me. And so subscribe to my channel if you like this tutorial, because I'll be making more of them on my Sentro Machine. And give me a like, leave me a comment, let me know if you did it, because I would really like to know. Have a good week, you all. I'll see you soon.